Hey, what's up? This is Dave from Flaming Wrekage, and you're listening to Heavy Mag. Thanks for having us, Crispy.
No worries at all, Dave. Good to speak with you again, brother.
Yeah, man, been a while.
It has been a while, mate. You're looking as radiant as ever.
Oh, thanks, man. It's my time of day.
So, Flaming Wrekage will unleash your new album at Terra Inferna on April the 26th, mate. Like, getting close now. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, man, it's all systems go at the moment. I just picked up some merch from the printers this morning, so that'll be going out with the pre-orders pretty soon. Yeah, it's been really good. It's been a pretty intense process, but super rewarding. Much like the recording of the album, I'd say. Like, you know, we really jammed everything we could into the time that we had, and I think we've got something really, really special with this one. So, yeah, we've had a couple of singles out, obviously, already, so hopefully everyone's digging it. But, yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting the whole thing out there. It's going to be, you know, a cathartic experience to get the whole album out in the world.
I bet you, man. And speaking of singles, like, you have been drip feeding tasty morsels of the album with the singles Witch Hunt, Ghost, and Hell on Earth, mate. So would you say overall those three are a good sonic representation of what to expect from the album as a whole?
Yeah, I think so. There's still a few. Still got a few tricks up our sleeve that we haven't put out yet. But yeah, like we just thought we'd come out of the gates as hot as possible with Witch Hunt. That's the first track on the record, and it's like definitely one of the most aggressive songs on the record. So we just wanted to make a statement with the first single, and I think that song definitely delivers there. And then we mixed it up a bit with Ghost. Like you hear some different sort of instrumentation on that one. There's like some slide guitar and some acoustic going on in there, a bit of percussion. There's a few things on this album that we haven't really done before. So that was a good one to kind of, you know, whet the appetite for some other moments on the record that you'll hear. And yeah, and then Hell on Earth, like that song's probably my favorite, I would say. That's, I'd say, the most cohesive representation of where the album's at, like lyrically, conceptually, and yeah, it really takes you on a journey, that song. I love that like outro bit. We're working on that at the moment and figuring out how we're going to do it live because we just put so many guitar tracks on that song. So but yeah, we're coming up with some cool live jams and stuff, which is also a really exciting time to, you know, just put the new stuff into a live context. So yeah, man, it's a very exciting time at the moment. It's great.
Okay, now I'm glad you mentioned Ghost, mate, because I want to focus on that track a little bit more specifically. Like it features the instrumentalization with percussion, acoustic, and slide guitar, man. So where did that idea come from? It's not part of the staple Flaming Wrekage diet.
No, it's not really. I think we just so this is the third album we've done with Kris the Melko, and we've like really put a lot of time into being quite extensive with the pre-pro and just getting that right, making sure the structures are all locked away before we hit the studio kind of thing. And that enables us to spend more time sort of experimenting and throwing some stuff out there that we haven't tried before, which was a super fun process. Like, I think it all kicked off with some synth because there's a fair bit of synth like throughout the album. You'll hear it like underneath some of the bigger choruses, and like the outro of Ghost has got that sort of like big swell at the end, which is a Roland Juno run through like a delay and a distortion pedal. It's got that real like sort of Blade Runner like sci-fi edge to it. So once we started fucking around with that kind of stuff, we thought, well, if the song needs this, you know, we'll just throw it out there. And had this sort of clean section in the middle that Juzzy had, and I'm like, I'm just feeling some slide. I don't know where it came from, but like just the idea of chucking a little slide bit over there was kind of a cool idea. And I'm like, that slide guitar is like not the easiest thing to do. I can't play slide for shit, but I just learnt it and to be able to do that. You know, like I'm no Derek Trucks or anything, but like just when it's dripping and delay, you can kind of get away with it. But yeah, it's like that section of the song is like, it's almost got like a bluesy sort of like, you know, country edge to it almost. So it's very like unfamiliar territory for us, like trying that stuff out, but it was like really fun. And yeah, just knowing that you can like you can make anything metal, and it's just for the, it's just for the growth of the songs. Like there's all these like layers that sit underneath the main instrumentation that we normally use it, and it takes it to another level, man. Like sonically, it just really makes it sing and fattens it up nicely. So yeah, it was a super funny process doing all that stuff, and I'm glad we did it because yeah, I'm really happy with the result.
It actually raises a bit of an interesting question there, bro. Like the sort of your music, sort of more thrash influenced, and that's what you guys are sort of known for. So it's easy these days to get lumbered into that box, like where people just expect the same sort of shit off you all the time. But do you reckon, like, because this is your third album, that maybe you've got that confidence, I guess, to experiment a bit more and not just deliver what people expect?
Yeah, definitely, man. And like, we all listen to a lot of different music, and I think that's something that makes our sound what it is. Like we're always listening to new influences and learning things from different styles of music. Like there's a song called Blood and Bone, which has a riff that is kind of derived from like a Japanese influence scale, and Juzzy is like massively into Japanese music, and like not necessarily just heavy music as well. Like he listens to all sorts, like pop, like sort of jazz, like, and it's just like the note selection across different cultural influences is really cool. Like influence to bring to like our heavy metal style, and yeah, when you bring all that together, it just like it's quite a unique thing. And I can't really remember where that like sort of that bit in Ghosts came from in the middle there, but it's just a combination of a bunch of different influences all coming in to like and converging into the same place. And like nothing's a bad idea in the studio, you can get away with that. Like our motto throughout this recording was just like, let's just do it, and we can always get rid of it if it's not going to work. So just yeah, it's a freeing experience to have, be able to try that stuff, and like have people like given the confidence to bring those sort of influences in.
Mm. And what sort of feedback you been getting on it from like long-term fans, bro? Like, are they embracing that change, or are they sort of, a bit like, you can't fucking change what we love?
No, I think they're digging it, man. Like I think people like it when bands take a bit of a swing, but there's still enough on the album to please like the standard sort of the standard fare of like sort of thrash death metal. So I think there's something on there for everyone. If that's what you're looking for, you're more straight up sort of metal. There's plenty of that on there too, but there is enough of that experimentation. And yeah, people have accepted it so far. So if you like what you hear, you're going to love the rest of it because there's heaps of shit on there to wrap your ears around.
Shit on, man. And Terra Inferna follows on from your last album, Cathedral of Bones, which came out in 2021, bro. So what's changed with Flaming Wrekage between those two albums?
Yeah. Well, I think that the main difference on this one has just been like the approach to writing, like back to what I was just saying, like, people, the confidence to bring in those extra influences and stuff like that. But this one was much more collaborative process. I think previously, and we started sort of heading in this direction a little bit on Cathedral, but the band has always been so like guitar driven, and then the rest of the song just gets built from like a riff. Whereas on this one, and I think that speaks to some of those influences as well, is that everyone's in on putting the song together, and we were much more open to having ideas come from different places. Like, there's like more rhythmic stuff that is like, rather than it being a cool selection of notes or whatever it is that makes up the riff that we would normally use, it's like Matt has come up with this like cool rhythmic pattern, and then we play a riff to that. It's like kind of flipping it on its head. And we were all in the room like nutting these songs out rather than sending riffs in and then building it from there. So that was kind of a different writing process to what we've done in the past. And yeah, I think it really worked. I think it gave the songs a little bit more space. And then, yeah, back to what we were saying before, you can throw wild shit on top of it, like a 12-string guitar or synth. And I think we kind of intended that. We wanted the songs not necessarily to be more simple, but just to like have a bit more space and like a bit more depth, rather than just trying to play. Like Cathedral is pretty relentlessly brutal record. Like there's not much like variation in terms of tempo on that one. But on this time around, we thought we'd experiment with that a little bit more. And I think it's more of a cohesive like A to B journey than Cathedral, which I still love. It's just a balls to wall death metal record. And that's there's a time and a place for that, you know, but this little bit of a different flavor with this, and it's just the bigness of it is really what we were trying to capture.
And this one's going to put you on the spot a little bit, bro, but the press release calls Terra Inferna your hardest hitting record to date. Would you agree with that statement?
I think so. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's such a subjective thing. Like, what would you consider to be hard hitting? Like, is it like fast, or is it, you know, like a crushing, like, you know, kind of more traditional death metal sort of approach? But I think it's all like the production and the songwriting converging together just like makes those real extra heavy sections really hit hard. And like you can really feel like there's a good example is like that outro riff to Ghosts. I remember that song was like I didn't like that song for ages. I was like, we're gonna chuck this. And then right like we got it to pre-pro and I was like, oh, maybe I'm starting to hear something now. And I'm so glad we did it because like, you know, it's pretty simple. That song is like the last riff is just like a real like sort of like that on its own. I just remember thinking, oh, it's just nothing. But when it's got the layering on it, when it's got like the bigness of the like instrumentation and all the things that we did to make it, like it kind of can transform a simple part into like this really crushing section. So I guess that's a good lesson that we learned on this one, like being open to keeping the more simplistic riffs in there because they can become some of the more like memorable. And also like in terms of like what we used like to record, like we used a lot of old stuff on this. Like there's a lot we used a vintage Tama kit. We used the old Mess of Boogie Mark IV. Like I've got some pretty like older Flying V's, and it's like we didn't really approach this from a modern metal perspective in any way. So, you know, you think about like something like the Black Album where it was like they went as simple as possible and just made it as big as they could. That was sort of the thinking with a lot of these songs. So,
oh man. So you've actually announced 2 exclusive album launch shows too, man, coming up. So you've got one at the Workers Club in Melbourne on May the 25th and one at the Lansdowne in Sydney on June the 8th. Like, I know what you guys are like, mate. You love playing live and you love fucking decimating the audience. So what do you got? What surprises you got planned for these 2 special shows?
Well, we're just putting the set list together now. And like I said before, like I really enjoy this like time just before when you haven't played a lot of the songs live before. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking because you know it comes with a certain amount of pressure, at least that we put it on ourselves to make sure that they're as good as they can be live. But I really like the process of transforming it from a studio version into a live version because to us they're 2 very different things. Like we don't play to a click track or anything. We want the live version of the song to be its own experience. So we're working out little sections that kind of get, you know, like the carry on for a bit longer than they would on the album, and some extra little flavors to give it that extra, you know, hard hitting quality live. And also like figuring out how like we're going to split up these guitar parts because there's a million of them. It's always a challenge. Always relish in that challenge. So yeah, man, the set list is going to be killer. We've picked some of our favorite songs off the new record and some ones we haven't played in a little while off the older ones as well. So that'll be really cool. And yeah, we're still running this competition called the Hell's Pass competition. So if you pre-order the album, you can still pre-order the vinyl on our site. You go into the draw to win a bar tab, and you can have a beer with us before the show, and you get early merch access as well. So that'll be really cool. We're trying to, you know, just do some stuff for the fans that you might not get with other bands, and get to hang out with people a little bit more before the show. So that's something to really look forward to. I'm really looking forward to meeting the people that, you know, took the time to go and buy our album before it's even out. It means a huge amount to us. So yeah, man, it's going to be super, super fun. And we're just doing these 2 exclusive shows for now, and then we've got another tour in the works at the end of the year. So stay tuned for that one.
Oh, well, while we're promoting the fucking drink with the band thing, bro, what is the link where people can go and pre-order the album so they can get a chance to have a beer with you?
Yeah. So it's just flamingwrekage.com/shop. And you'll see a CD and the vinyl there. So we've still got a few left. Yeah, it was insane how many pre-orders we got. It was awesome. Like people really got behind it straight away. So very thankful for that. But yeah, there's still time if you wanna join that comp.
Oh, now I don't normally ask questions about band names, mate, because I find them lame as fuck, to be honest. But you guys have made me misspell your name that many fucking times. I want to know why the C isn't in there. Like, did someone fuck up and you decided to keep it, or did you do it deliberately to fuck people like me up?
Yeah, oh man, it's just too late to change it now, you know.
So
But
was it a fuck up?
well, no, we did it intentionally. I just remember, like, you know, when the idea for the band name came about, like when we were like super, you know, like 17, 18 or something. It was like, I feel like this needs like some kind of more metal edge. And we're like, well, Megadeth did it. Like, there's no A in that. Like, surely we can get away with something cool there. And then I think we were drawing up some like sketches for the logo, and we thought it looks cooler without the C. So yeah, that's a pretty shit ass explanation, but that's all we got. So it's too late to change now. And I'm like, half the time has got the C in it on, you know, all over the internet. So you can still find us easy enough. But yeah, it's mostly better with the logo.
I just want to say,
yeah.
on behalf of music journalists everywhere, I just want to give a big fuck you guys for that, because it makes our jobs hard.
Man, I used to get the shits and like be like, oh, can you change? You got to change that. You spelled our name wrong. They're like, it's spelled it right. I'm like, yeah, but that's wrong. So
that pretty much says it all, doesn't it? Well, on that fine note, brother, we shall leave you there. But Terra Inferna is out April 26th. You got those 2 shows in Melbourne, May 25th, Sydney, June the 8th. Check out all the socials, pre-order the album, have a drink with the boys, and catch them on the road.
What it's worth, your resistance.